to deal with overcrowded trains, people who are starting to go back to work in New York City. How should they be allowed to be treated with such, overcrowded conditions on trains and only get weekend service basically except for the rush hours? That's not at all acceptable to us riders. And one of the examples I want to give, and I live on the Babylon branch. I live in East Meadow and I go to Merritt because that's my home station. During the AM and PM rush hours, we get, for example, in the morning between 7:20 and 8:20 in the morning, there's an hour gap. And people who need to get to work, let's say by 9 o'clock in the morning, for example, they're gonna have to take a train, maybe, let's say, 7 o'clock in the morning or 6:30 to be able to get to work on time. Or they're gonna have to take a later train. Look, while there's a semi-express that basically does not make any added stops at local stations to accommodate customers. And the same thing in the PM rush. How is that acceptable? I feel that the riders on the Babylon branch are getting the worst of the cuts. And I feel that the Long Island Railroad, under the leadership of President Philip Angs, does not realize that ridership is slowly coming back. We at Passengers United feel in our hearts that it is time for the railroad to consider the factors and consider increasing service. Because, first of all, COVID-19 right now, with what's going on in this world, overcrowded trains could cause another COVID outbreak, which would be horrible for this region. It would be completely horrible. And I feel that if we work together as a team, if our local elected officials get involved, if those of us get involved, we could make a difference. We could encourage the Long Island Railroad to make sure that these cuts do not happen under any circumstances. The MTA, as I said, gets $16 billion right now, as long as this next stimulus package is passed, hopefully this upcoming week, and President Biden signs into the law. I feel, based on those factors, and again, I had a prepared statement written, but based on the information that I heard as far back as yesterday, I believe $16 billion is enough to keep the service that we have right now. We believe it is time that service increases. Weekend service is not sustainable.
Okay.
So I have another statement I want to read. This is from one of my other colleagues.
Let's just let Marni talk.
Okay.
Yeah, Marni.
I'm going to let Marni speak now.
Marni. Her name is Marni. Yeah,
Marni,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Hi.
Marni, speak loud, okay, so they get you. I got it.
Should I take off my mask?
Yeah, take off your mask, please. Yeah, hold this up real quick.
So, my name is Marni Halasa.
Loudly.
My name is Marni Halasa. I'm a candidate for City Council for District 3. And what I want to tell everybody is that the dirty secret is that they have the money. So, the fact that they got a $6 billion stimulus, plus they could always, reallocate funds. There's legislative-ready proposals in the Assembly and the state legislature right now where they could have a 1% tax on corporations, on the top wealthiest corporations. That would net about $12 billion. They could always assess a data tax. Google and Facebook and Twitter, they're using our data publicly for advertising, and there's no tax, and they're using that for free. I mean, we could assess a data tax. There's so many different ways, for the city and the state to get revenue. So for them to say that, oh, we don't have the money, for them to, force the public to accept austerity is completely, unconscionable and beyond comprehension. So I just want people to understand that the dirty secret in politics is they actually have the money. but it's this constant sort of managing of the narrative, like, oh, we don't have the money, so you just have to accept that. So that's completely unacceptable. And I feel like the media, you guys have to also do, you know, kind of a better job in putting stories in context, because we don't have to accept austerity. So that's one thing I want to say.
Marni, how do you feel about what Governor Cuomo did? Are you outraged?
Well, I'm very outraged, and I'm also calling for the governor to resign. So, you know, any woman that you know, the 5 women have come forward. The fact that they've experienced this kind of, like, you know, workplace harassment is, you know, horrendous. So I'm calling for the governor to resign. But also, I just feel that, you know, a lot of people in the media know, and in politics, that the governor has exhibited this kind of, like, belligerent, hostile, and retaliatory
Louder.
behavior. Like, everybody's known that, and so finally it's actually, you know, getting some traction. But, you know, people have known this for years, so he should have been resigned like a long time ago. But also, I just want to say, in my district, which is I ride the M11 bus, which goes down 9th Avenue and up 10th Avenue. People in general are waiting for that bus like 40 minutes. So if you're waiting 40 minutes for the bus, you can't get to work on time. You can't get to your doctor's appointments on time. You can't pick up your children from school. So this is a huge problem that District 3 and all over the city that they're experiencing.
And you're also running in Corey Johnson's former district.
Yes, I am. Yes, yes, I am. Your last name? My name, first name is Marni, M-A-R-N-I. Last name is Halasa, spelled H-A-L-A-S-A. So, you know, again, I mean, my main thing is that austerity is a lie. It's a myth. And we need to, the public and elected officials, and we all have to come together to fight this narrative of austerity. We don't have to accept it. They do have the money, and we have to pressure Cuomo and the system to give us that money. And, you know, for public transportation to take a hit, I mean, it's going to really affect the recovery, you know, of our city. So I think that
Shouldn't Pat Foy resign immediately?
immediately.
Yep.
Yes.
Get him out there. Okay, so we're just gonna do a quick. Hi. We're just gonna do a quick chant calling Governor Time's Up, Governor Cuomo. We're just gonna do that. So I need all of you on your loudest voice to scream, "Time's up, Governor Cuomo. It's time to resign." And, you know, Pat Foy, it's time to resign from the MTA. Okay. Okay. It's time to resign, Governor Cuomo. Time's up. Let's go. Time's up, everyone.
Time's up, Governor Cuomo.
It's time to resign.
Time to resign.
It's time to resign.
Time's up.
Time's up.
Time's up.
Governor Cuomo,
Time's up.
It's time to resign.
Time's up. Time to resign, Governor Cuomo. Time's up.
And also,
Hold on.
one more chant we're gonna do is Pat Foy, it's time to resign and let Philip Eng do his job. So Pat Foy, it's time to resign.
Time's up. Pat Foy. It's time. Let Philip Eng do his job.
Jonathan, you gotta lead us.
Okay, I am leading you guys. So right now, let's do this.
another Governor Cuomo.
Okay,
That one's so
okay,
good.
okay.
Wait a
So
minute.
time's up, Governor Cuomo. It's time to resign. Time's up, Governor Cuomo. It's time to resign.